Okay. Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Baruch Hashem, another beautiful day in Eretz Yisrael. It's a little cool here today, Baruch Hashem, but it's wonderful. And we will always learn for the well-being of our chayalim, the chatufim, and the pitzuim, the soldiers, the captives, and the injured, and all of Klal Yisrael. Really, because it's hard being a Yid anywhere around the world these days, right? Yeah. Hashem, help us. Help us, Hashem, and bring big Yeshuas and bring everybody home.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. We're learning Likutey Halachos with Siyata D'Shmaya, of course. Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah. Okay. And we're in Halacha Gimel, and today we're up to Eis Gimel. We're up to letter Gimel. So it's 3-3. Okay, here we go. All right. Now we were talking yesterday. We were talking about this beautiful idea of connecting ourselves to Hashem while we daven, right? Having that unity, right? Unifying the name of Hashem and unifying ourselves with Hashem while we daven. Recognizing we're talking to Hashem when we daven, right? Sometimes we don't realize that. Right? Sometimes we're just saying words, but we don't realize Hashem is listening to what we're saying. Because I truly believe that people would be cognizant of the fact that they're saying the words and Hashem is listening to what they're saying, it'll be totally different, right?
Yeah. So you don't think that people know that Hashem is listening?
No. If they're cognizant of it, they don't know. You have to be cognizant of it, right?
At the moment.
Right. If you recognize, wait, Hashem is listening to what I'm saying. Right, so like if you're going on a meeting, right, and you're talking to some important executive, right, so you're very careful. You choose your words, how you say it, how you come dressed, right?
Yeah.
Right. Some people come to shul, they're wearing like their pajamas. Like, you coming to talk to Hashem? Would you go to a meeting like that? If you had a meeting, would you go to shul like that? Right. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. You know, come to shul, recognize you're talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right. Okay, and then if we do that, then of course HaKadosh Baruch Hu will listen to our tefillahs and answer our tefillahs, right? When we recognize Him. Okay. And then we said that this amazing thing that a person can come to a level, and it's based on lesson 46 in Likutey, that a person can come to a level that he has when he's davening with Hashem, at the same level when he's having relations. Saying no difference. Fascinating that a person can come to such a connection with Hashem, to be so close with Hashem, the same way a person can be so close with his wife. Unbelievable, with no difference. So today we're going to learn something else. Today we're going to learn now the derech of tefillah. When we daven, where does the tefillah go? Where are we davening to? We all know whenever we come to wherever we are in the world, we always try to find the way to Yerushalayim, right? To the Kaisel Maravi, correct? You daven to different directions depending on where you are in the world, correct? And we're going to see now why. Here we go. Kitzarek lahoyer bechinas haderech b'atfila, kedei shetuchal atfila laleches b'derech hayosher michutz la'aretz l'Eretz Yisrael. Right? You want it like people that are not in Eretz Yisrael, right? They have to daven in a way to get their tefillah to go from chutz la'aretz, wherever they are, right? Wherever they are in outside of Israel, to get their tefillah to come into Israel, right? It has to pass the border. Right, it has to pass border control, right? It has to get into Eretz Yisrael.
There's also something about like Tzvat, how like all the prayers.
We know it's not Tzvat. No, it's not Tzvat.
I'm not sure I know.
I know the guys over there want you to believe it, but no, here, watch.
I'm not sure I'm in the same
Umisham liyerushalayim. Umisham liyerushalayim. 3. We're learning Hilchos. We're learning Torah reading. 3. Yeah.
I don't see what you're talking about.
548 at the top.
48.
548.
Okay. Thank you, David.
We should.
I don't understand. Wait, I told you 3. It's 3. Why didn't you open it?
Well, there's a 3 on this page too.
Yeah, but where does the 3 begin?
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a threat. I just had an X over here.
Oh, okay. Let me show, okay, so it has to go from Chutz La'aretz to Eretz Yisrael to Yerushalayim.
Yeah.
So getting to Ben Gurion, or Yafo, or Haifa, that doesn't work. It has to get to Yerushalayim. Well, the Beis Hamikdash has to come to the Makom HaMikdash. Well, the Kodesh Kodashim.
Even today is going to that.
Yeah, to the Kodesh Kodashim. The Bechinas, Yispallu Eilecha Derech Arza. It says in Melachim, right? Yispallu Eilecha, will daven to you, Eilecha, right? Derech Artzam, the derech of the Artzam, Derech Taika, specifically the direction, right? Specifically the direction. Ki atfila tzricha leleilech le'eretz Yisrael. The tefillah has to get to Eretz Yisrael. So Baruch Hashem, we live in Eretz Yisrael, so it's a lot easier, right? We don't have to pass. We're in here. Right? So when we,
Easy pass.
yeah. Yeah, no, really. Well, the Kodesh Kodashim. It has to get to the Kodesh. Like we learned about the Kodesh, that's where the Evan Shasia is, right? The founding rock. The founding rock
By
is...
the small gray thing that they
The Evan Shasia, the founding rock of the world, and that's where the tefillahs go. That's where they...
Like the rock consists that the Jews shouldn't pray on the Harabais.
Yeah.
They don't know that all the tefillot...
They're going there anyway. They don't want us to... What?
Did you go?
No, I don't go. No, but listen, either you don't go, okay, whatever. That's not the point. Your tefillahs are going there.
Yeah.
It's more important that we daven to recognize that tefillah goes in and I go there. My tefillah has to get there. Either way, okay. Umisham l'shemayim, and from there it goes up to heaven. Ultimately, we want our tefillah to get up to Shemayim, right? So now we're learning the pathway, right? So it goes from wherever it is in Chutz La'aretz, wherever the person may be, to Eretz Yisrael. From Eretz Yisrael has to get to Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim has to get to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, to the Evan Shasia, and then from there it goes up to Shemayim. Interesting, right?
I'm going to ask a silly question.
Yeah.
Is that why they call it the Dome of the Rock? Because it's like the rock that...
That was just, yeah.
That's what they call that? They call that the Harabais?
The Arabs call it that.
Yeah, I was called that.
No, but the dome.
The
dome
dome.
of the rock, because there's a rock on there. You've seen that, Ralph? Just Google it.
But is it the rock that Israel...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put their thing right on top of it.
Really?
Yeah, they do that all over the world.
Okay, so that's why they call it...
Yeah.
Their hands on their
V'achar kach, me'rakia l'rakia goes from one firmament to the next. We learned about the Zayin Rakiyim, right? The 7 different firmaments. It has to make itself its way up. And from world to world, right? We learned it goes from the Olam Asiya, it goes from the to Yetzira, to Bria, to Hatzilut, right? Until it comes to its place, to its final place, which we hope it comes to the Kisei HaKavod, right? That's where we want the Tefillah to get to, right? You have to illuminate the way. How do you illuminate the way? How do you illuminate the way of Tefillah? Recognizing you're davening to Hashem, right? Coming to that recognition, b'simcha. Excellent. Right, and nothing happens without simcha. Right, that was lesson 24, lesson 24, right? You have to daven, and everything is with simcha. Simcha is what is the catalyst. It makes things happen, right? Again, like we're learning about this idea of the Chodesh Elul, right? The whole idea of Tikkun Abris, the whole idea of have a good day, Reb Shlomo Mordechai. Be well, be matzliach. Okay, via us working on our purity, right? Via us working on our purity, that's how we can illuminate the path of the tefillah. That's how the tefillah has its, and through the simcha, a person that's working on tikkun abris can be besimcha, right? Otherwise, if a person is not working on tikkun abris, and he's not working on his purity, he's not going to be besimcha. He's always worried about something else, right? So generally, if you see a happy person, generally, that person is a person that's working on his purity, okay? In general. Okay, there's some people that are just happy, and that's their nature, right? You do have some people like that. But in general, you see people that are happy, that are working in Avodas Hashem, these people are working on Tikkun HaBris. These people have, and when they daven, they're recognizing where they're davening to, that they're davening to Hashem. That tefillah has light, derech, so it has to illuminate the path for it to make its trip to where it has to get to all the way to Shemayim. Okay? Any questions on that? Isn't that a nice idea to understand how tefillah move, where it goes, and then we have to keep the tefillah moving, and it's taking a long trip. It's amazing, right? You send off the words, right? We said, remember, we learned the other lesson, that when you daven, you have to remember the first word to the last word, right? All the words, right? It shouldn't be you just say a word and it's gone. No, you're supposed to remember the word. You're supposed to cherish each word.
Remember?
You have to cherish each word that I said. I have to remember the words that I'm saying and realize what I'm saying. It's a process. It's not just blurt out some words, right? And we have to work on that.
It's called avoidance.
That's right. Avodas halev. What's the avodas shebelev? That's tefillah. There we go.
I could do that if I wasn't in a minion.
What?
I could do that if I wasn't in a minion.
No, but I told you.
Just to do it in the minion.
In the minion. The challenge is to do it in the minion.
Everybody can do without minion. Go do it with the minion.
No, it's really, it's because I do like davening that way, and it's really challenging to not be able to.
No. So, but again, so you can daven before you come to shul. You could say a lot of things, right? And you can get a lot. Oh, good morning, Reb Simcha. You could daven and say a lot of things before, and this way you can listen. We do the best that we can.
I know.
But whatever we do, we realize you're talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, let's go to letter Dalet now. Okay, Dalet. So that was the idea, to recognize the tefillah goes. It has to get to Eretz Yisrael. It has to get to Israel. From Israel, it has to get to Yerushalayim. From Yerushalayim, it has to get to the Beis Hamikdash. To the Beis Hamikdash, it has to get to the Kodesh, to the Kodesh Kodashim, and then it has to get to the Even Shasi, and then from there it goes up to Shemayim. Okay, that was the derech. Okay, now Dalet. V'zeh bechinas kriyas atayr b'shas atfila. Okay, this is another reason now why we daven. While during davening we have kriyas haTorah. Well, someone would say, well, what do you mean? Of course, that's how we do it, right? Well, no. Now we're going to say why. Why did they institute that you read the Torah at the same time during the davening? Right? You ever realize that? I mean, that's what we always do, right? But now we're going to discuss why is that? Why was it set up that way? David, do you understand what we're saying?
Yeah, why don't we do it at the end or at the beginning?
Or maybe it's a different. It should be another session.
Another day, another hour.
Another session. Come to shul. Okay, now we do Kriyas Torah now.
Yeah.
Why is it done in between? Okay. Because the main derech of tefillah comes to us through Torah, right? In other words, we say we need to light the path to get the tefillah, so the tefillah knows where to go. That's the pathway, right? The light is the path is the pathway that we're illuminating for the tefillah to go on. Do you follow that? Right? And it's like the same way we have roads, and we need lit roads, right? When you have a lit road, it's a lot easier to drive, correct? So the tefillah needs that light. I'm just giving you a silly example for what we're talking about here. So the same way the tefillah, you need light when you're riding on the road, the tefillah needs its light in order for it to travel on the right pathways to get to Eretz Yisrael, to get to the Makom HaMikdash, to Yerushalayim, to the Makom HaMikdash, and make its way all the way up, all to the seven firmaments, to make its way up through the world, to make its way up to the Kisei HaKavod. Because the Torah illuminates the pathway. How do you like that? Torah is the light. We know that Torah are, right? Torah are, right? The Torah is light. That illuminates the pathway. Ki al shem zeh nikra Torah. That's why it's called Torah. Al shem shehi moira lanu es haderech, because it teaches us the way. It teaches us the way, right? Through the Torah, we know how to live. The Torah is what gives us the knowledge that we need in order to go through life successfully. To go through life recognizing Hashem, recognizing and being and trusting in Hashem through our lives, during our lives. right? Like it says in Shemais, right? Lo ha'oros lahem, in order to illuminate to them, es haderech, the way, asher yelchu, as we should go, right? So we know that when we were in the desert, right? So we had the Aish, we had the fire. Good morning, Yossi. We had the fire that illuminated us during the night, correct? We had the fire, right? And that's how we knew it. That protected us at night. It warmed us. It gave us light, right? Kamay shekosav derech mitzvaysecha orutz, derech mitzvaysecha orutz, derech pekudecha bocharti. Look at it, isn't that beautiful? Nice words here. Derech pekudecha, the way of your pekudim, right? The laws, the Torah, bacharti, I chose, right? Kiviksiv derachea darkei noya. Right, all these beautiful psukim that we read all the time. Derachea darkei noyam, right? The ways, darachea, the ways of the Torah, darkei noyam, they're sweet pathways, sweet ways, nice ways, pleasant ways. Alkein al yedei haTorah shekarim b'shas tefillah. Al yedei zeh meirin es haderech bayam. It teaches us the way of the derech in the yam. The Torah is also known as a yam, right? The yam of Torah, right? The sea of Torah, right? The hayde b'chinas haTefillah. That's tefillah, the emunah, right? The whole idea is emunah v'azai tefillah mekabeles b'chinas im shigura tefillasi b'fi yedei ani shehu mekubal. Like we learned the other day, right? The Gemara tells a person that if you daven in a way that while you were davening, the words were flowing from your mouth nicely.
Was it Chanin Vadnosa?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're davening in a way that the tefillah is shugura b'fiv, that means you're davening in a way that the words are flowing nicely from your mouth, very nicely. And that's a siman, that's a sign that in heaven they're accepting your tefillah, right? The fact that you'll be able to daven and utter the words and enunciate the words in such a way, in such a pleasant way, is as a symbol that tefillah was accepted. Like we learned yesterday, Rav Nasser is just reminding us, right, when Eliezer was davening to Hashem that he should be successful in finding the wife for Yitzchak, right? So he was davening. He made this plan, right? He made this amazing plan that I'll come here with all these camels and all these animals, and then if this girl comes out, she'll offer me to drink, and then she'll offer my camels to drink, right? I know that this is the right girl, right? Right? He makes this plan. Right away, she's coming out. Amazing. Just when he finishes, as he's saying the words, he approaches, and here she is. Amazing. Shehu bechinas vayi terem yikro vani en. You see, yesterday you came up with that. Remember Shalom, right? V'haya terem yikro vani en. Right? Even there we go. Right? As soon as before I even finish saying my words, Hashem, I already start and already Hashem's answering me. Sometimes you feel that in life. I hope we all felt that once in a while, right? We need something, and then the next thing, the thing comes. It's unbelievable, right? That feeling, such a beautiful feeling, right? I need something. I ask Hashem, and while I'm asking Hashem, I need something, and then the guy calls me or something, right? Or you get a text message or an email, or you bump into the guy on the street, right? You come to shul that afternoon. Here, the guy that you need to speak to is right there, and you never expected that, right? Things happen like that, right? Okay. Ki ha-Torah me'ira bechinas haderech shu bechinas kavonas el. The Torah illuminates the pathways, right? And this is why we have kriyas ha-Torah during the tefillah, right? Because we said the tefillah needs the light in order to make its way to Eretz Yisrael, to make its way to Yerushalayim, to make its way to Har HaBayis, to the Beis HaMikdash, to the Kodesh Kodashim, to make its way to the Even Shasiya. Then it goes from the Even Shasiya, it goes to the seven firmaments, right? From the seven firmaments, it goes up to the different worlds, all the way up to the Kisei HaKavod. It needs light. The Torah is the light. It illuminates the pathway, right? Isn't that amazing? Torah. That's why Torah is called Torah Or. Right? It's light. Torah is light. So that's why we read the Torah during the Tefillah. right? During the tefillah, we read the Torah to illuminate the pathways for the words in order to take their way, to take off, and they have the right and the illuminated pathway to go where they have to go.
Fiber optic.
Well, okay, yeah, all right. Fiber optic, wow. Okay, the bechinas the knows where to go. Al kain, nistakein kriyas haTorah b'shas haTefillah. And that's why it was originally established that we'll take out the Torah during our prayer service, right? That it's not a separate not a separate session that we come to shul, right? And we read the Torah. No, we read the Torah during the davening because we want the tefillah, right? We want that tefillah to have its pathway to it, so it's illuminated to get to a b'sheni b'chamishi on Monday and Thursday. Shehem yomim she'ola v'yored Moshe b'arbaim yoim ha'achroinim shehem yimei Elul. Right? So the whole idea is Elul. Why Elul? Because during Elul is when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim on Mondays and Thursdays in order to finalize things, to bring down the Luchas Shnias, right? The second set of Luchas, right? He had the first set of Luchas broke because of the chait of the golden calf. Right, so Moshe Rabbeinu, he through his davening to Hashem, and through the sin of the golden calf, it revealed to us the Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. Remember the 13 attributes of mercy, right? Were revealed through that. We didn't have it before, right? And Moshe Rabbeinu was working on this process, and he was going up Mondays and Thursdays. So therefore, reread the Torah Monday and Thursday. All right, that's why it's connected to Elul, because Moshe Rabbeinu did that in Elul, and Moshe Rabbeinu established for us the pathway to tshuva, pathway of tefillah, pathway of Torah during Chodesh Elul. Therefore, it's the whole idea is hinged around Elul. It's not stam. That's why we all try to daven a little more during Elul. We say a little more Tehillim, right? We do a little more supplications. We ask Hashem during Elul, because this is where this is the fortification we need for the year, right? That's where it comes in Elul, right? So the avodah that we do during during Elul, and then the Yomim Nairayim, right? And then the whole thing of Sukkot and Simchas, right? All of that. That's the fortification we need for the year to get through the year. Right, now we're going to be coming to Chodesh Kislev, right? We come Chanukah, right? The next one, the light of Chanukah, right? Okay. Lekabel luchos achroinos, to get the second set of luchos. The second, okay, K'may Shamar B'Seinu Zalas Chazal teach us. Ki be'elu hayomim shekibel luchos achroinos heim yimei Elul. That whole segment of time was in Elul. That's when it took place. V'asa Moshe derech kavusha Moshe Rabbeinu. He conquered the way. I guess kavush means to conquer, right? He forged the path. Maybe we can say it like that, right? He forged the path for us, right? Shederechu kavanas elul k'moshe kosav Rabbeinu zal b'makei macher. Rabbi Nachman writes about that in lesson 82. You were talking about that yesterday, right? You said that, right? So 82 is connected to lesson 87. Right, they're both connected. Okay, but al kain karim b'Torah be'elu hayomim shalom Moshe v'yorad ki ikar kriyas haTorah b'shas haTefillah k'dei l'hara derech. The whole idea of reading the Torah during the Tefillah is to illuminate the pathways for our Tefillah, right? And that's why people make a mistake and they think they could learn. They're going to learn during their davening, right? Davening is for davening, and the only learning you're supposed to do during davening is the kriyas haTorah. Right? People think that they'll catch up on if they do halacha yomi, right? Kitzur yomi, mishnah berurah yomi, mishnah yomi, whatever they're doing, right? Daf yomi, they're doing it during that. Wait, hold on, no, this is tefillah now. This is davening. No, that's not the time. You do that on your time, not during the time of tefillah. This of course not. Of course, why the guy's going to have his Gemara while they're reading the Torah. No, that's no. You have to listen to the Kriyas HaTorah. Right? Okay. L'hoyer haderech b'hayam. Okay. So this is the idea. This is the idea of why we. So now we learned a few things. First, we learned that there's a pathway that the tefillah has to take. Right? The tefillah has to take a pathway for it to come to where it has to go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, up in Shemayim at the Kisi HaKavod. It's a pathway it has to take. Now, how does it get the light? How does it know the way to go to what pathway to take to get up there? It's a long way, right? You know, if we want to go on a short trip, we use the Waze or Google Maps, right? This is a long trip. It's going through the 7 firmaments. It's going through the worlds. It's taking a long trip. It needs a lot. It needs light. It needs something, right? So again, when you daven, when you put the simcha into your tefillah, in your avodas Hashem, that gives it power, right? That is the fuel it needs. But then it also needs the illumination, right? The illumination is what? That's the Torah, right? Isn't that nice? So we're putting it there to understand really the tefillah, where it needs energy to give it that thrust to be able to go on that trip, right? And it needs the light in order for it to know what way to go, right? Any questions on this? It's a very nice.
How do we get there on Tuesday and Wednesday, and Friday, and
because
the Torah?
Okay, that we said. Then you say the psukim of Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh in Avolatziyam with the Aramaic, and that's how those are those days. But these days that we read the Torah, there's extra light, there's extra something in those days, and therefore we need to actually fortify with Kriyas Torah. And we said we don't go 3 days without learning Torah. We're reading from the Torah, right?
So it's like we've got fuel, and this is the booster energy that's coming along to.
What? No. So if you remember, we learned that there's it has to be 3. It was a few reasons we learned. One is Kohen, Levi, Yisrael. 3, right? The next thing we learned was when you have a disagreement to 2 different people, the third one, V'yachriya b'neihem, the third one comes to help mitigate, right? To help not mitigate, it helps to help. What's the word we want to use? Solve the problem between the 2 of them, right? Right. So that's what we said. That's why it's 3. That's another reason for the 3. Remember we learned that? Remember? Yeah. Right. Right, like we say there are 2 psukim that don't disagree, and there comes the third pasuk. That's Machriya B'neihem. It's Yachriya B'neihem. It solves the conflict that's between the 2 of them. Okay, so that's okay. So now we understand why we have Torah specifically why it's during the davening and why it was established during the davening. It wasn't established some other time. Right? You would think maybe we have to come to shul a different time to read the Torah. No, you want it during the davening, right before you're going to say the Ashrei of Olatzion. Right before you're going to say the Ashrei of Olatzion, because then again you have the Aramaic that fortifies the Kriyas, the Lashon HaKodesh of the Torah. Right? When we learned that, right? The Aramaic. Okay, there we go. Any questions on this?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like on Shabbos Mincha, you say the Ashrei V'Oltzion before the Lenya.
Yeah. Well, that's Shabbos. Yeah, but all the time we do it. We're talking about Monday and Thursday. So Monday and Thursday, this is the system that we do. Any questions on that? Go to Hay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Baal Kain, Ikar Kriyas HaTorah b'Sheni v'Chamishi. There we go. See that? That's why the main thing is on Sheni and Chamishi, Mondays and Thursdays. Nistakim be'esha holchi yisrael b'derech b'loi Torah shleisha yamim b'nis yagu. Right? They would get tired. Right? They would get tired if we didn't have the Torah. The Torah is what gives us our life, our vitality. Now, it used to be, remember we learned this, the idea that everyone has to write a Sefer Torah for themselves, right? Yeah. Because it used to be that everyone would study, and we learned that the king has to write 2 Sefer Torah, right? He has to have his own Torah, and he writes another one, right? Why was that? Because we would read from the Torah and we would study from the Torah, right? People years ago didn't have books like we have today, right? They didn't have books. Books were very, very expensive. So people wrote a Sefer Torah and they learned from it, right? They learned from it, right? So the Torah is what gives us our life. Okay. Amdu haNeviim Shebenehem v'tiknu sheyiu kairim b'Torah b'sheni v'chamishi k'may shomer b'seinu zal in Baba Kama on pay base. Right, the Gemara in Baba Kama discusses the idea of reading the Torah on Monday and Thursday. That was the day, like we learned, that they used to have in the cities. The Bezdin would come to judge. The Bezdin would come to judge on Mondays and Thursdays. Right. That's when the court day was. We said that's an idea for Bahab. Right. They used to say they set up a fast days on Mondays and Thursdays. Right. All these different things. Ki ikka tikkun kriyas haTorah b'sheni v'chamishi hu b'shvil tikkun b'chinas derech, to make the pathways the way the derech. To illuminate the derech of the tefillah, right? Tefillah needs its light, needs its pathway, it needs to light the pathway. The same way when we're driving at night, I'll give you an example. You always like when there's a lit road, right? It's much easier to drive on a lit road than there's no lit road, right? You have to turn on the high beams, turn them off. It's a whole headache, right? Right? The guy's coming, you have to turn it off. Right? Some people don't turn it off, right? They get blinded.
I was hoping you'd say that.
What?
Some people don't turn it off.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but when it's a lit road, it's much easier.
Yeah.
Right. So again, that's the muscle for the nimshal. Okay. Right. That's why we can. I really believe Hashem gives us these examples in the world to help us understand the spirituality, things of spirituality. Right. Because we know that's the okay. All right. Ki ikar tikun haderech hu al yedei haTorah shehu meira derech v'zeh bechinas b'shalechacha tanche oischa, right? The Torah will be for you the way, the correct way, right? When we went in the way without Torah, we were traveling without Torah, we got tired. We didn't have that vitality in order to keep going. The pathways are illuminated. It's an amazing thing. That's why we have the Torah on Monday and Thursday. So 3 days don't go by, right? We read the Torah on Shabbos. Then we have Sunday. Monday we read the Torah, right? Then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 days to Thursday. The third day we read the Torah, then again Friday, and then we read the Torah on Shabbos. So never goes a segment more than 3 days that we didn't read the Torah. Right? We understand that? Okay. Again forged the pathways for us, right? That we can, those pathways. The same way Moshe Rabbeinu was working on davening. And his tefillahs, he was getting his tefillahs to be answered. He forged the roadways for our tefillahs. And how do we how do we have the schus to be on Moshe Rabbeinu's roads? We study Moshe Rabbeinu, we study the Torah's Moshe. Right? The Torah is the light, and that light lets our tefillahs travel on those roads that Moshe forged out for us. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's amazing. I think so. Okay, right? In order for us to get this idea, the kavanah, and what was the kavanah of Elul? That before we even finish davening, before we even saying the words, we're already getting answered. That's the idea of Elul. How do you do that? Again, through tikkun abris, right? Through our purity. The more purity we have, right? Like we learned yesterday, right? The more purity you have, is the more that you can be connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Recognize Hashem in your life. When you recognize Hashem in your life, you daven in that way, and you have Torah. The Torah gives you the light, and so on. L'hoya b'derech yam kidei shetia tefillah bechinas im shigura tefillasi befi yadei ani shehu mikubal shehu bechinas hu terem kila ledaber v'hine rivka yotzei. So again, Rav Nosson really wants us to understand this concept over here, that we can come to a way of davening. And how do you know? Like you'll say, how do I know if I'm davening in this way? How do I know? We don't know. How do we know? You know how you know? When you're davening, if you're saying the words and the words are flowing from, that means you're connecting. That means that's the hint that your tefillah is getting up to Shemayim. You illuminated the tefillah. You gave the energy of the tefillah with the simcha that you put into your davening, right? You put the simcha into your davening. That was the energy that the tefillah needed to rise. Okay, you lit the way. You lit the way of the tefillah through the Torah, and then your tefillah can come out and you can flow, the words flow nicely from your mouth. You know that the system is working well. Isn't that a nice thing to know? Right? And you know if you're doing the right thing. It's a beautiful idea. Okay, bebechinas terem yikru v'ani, the same way that David HaMelech says, before I even finish davening to you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm already seeing my answer. Right? It's a beautiful thing when that happens. Okay? Says that bechinas tava yaisha shehi Rivka. If the woman will come, she'll come. There'll be Rivka. Rivka again, we said was the Isha Yiras Hashem. Right? She was the lady that Yiras Hashem, and again, Yitzchak Avinu was in that way. He davened in that way that he wanted to have his children only with Rivka. Right? This week's parsha. Right? Medrash says he davened in a way that he didn't want to have to take a pilega like Hagar. He didn't want that. He wanted to have, this is my wife. I want to have my children that Hashem promised me with my wife. Finished. I don't want any other women. Is that amazing? Right? Right? Yeah. Then I saw that Rivka, she was davening and she was saying if I have these two children in me, what do I need this for? Like, what is this? What was she actually saying? She was saying, look, I know that Sarah Imeinu, right? I took over for Sarah Imeinu, right? She only had one child, and he was pure, Yitzchak, right? And then Hagar had the impure child, Yishmael. So why do I have to have two? Why do I have a good one and a bad one? That's what she was saying. How come I can't be like Sarah that I get just one good one and no bad one? You understand? Rivka Meina. Yeah, but then she went to ask, right? She went to ask Hashem, right? She went to Shem Ve'ever, right? She went to Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever, and then Shem Ve'ever said to him, "Look, you have this other one in you, but really there'll be some good that comes from him too. Don't worry about it." So she said, "What do you mean?" Well, this guy Rabbi Akiva, right? Rabbi Akiva, right? Rabbi Akiva comes from Esav, right? Yeah. How about Shmaya V'Atalia? They were the Rebbeim of Hillel. They were converts.
David Melech came from a convert.
Yeah. Rus was a convert. There we go.
They came from Lot.
Yeah.
Which is incest.
Yeah. That's another whole story. Why it's hidden. Hashem hides in the shamas in these different places. The same way like this. Let me ask you something. If you had a precious diamond, right? You had a precious diamond, and you were worried that someone was going to come and is about to rob your house. Where would you put the diamond? Would you try to put the diamond, let's say, in a safe? Would you put the diamond in, let's say, behind the fancy picture?
Garbage.
Put it in the garbage. There we go. Put it in the garbage. The thief would never think of looking in the garbage. Excellent.
Matter of fact, give him a place to look. You got a safe, cool.
Put it in the garbage. You put it in the garbage can and mix with all the garbage. He'll never think of looking in the garbage can. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu does with the neshamas. Don't take out the garbage.
Tell everybody else not to take it out.
Yeah. No, so that was what you were saying. Hashem hides these neshamas in the garbage to get them in.
It makes it a little confusing. I mean, I understand what you're saying. However,
yeah.
Even the same, if you take a woman in war, and you have to bring her back home and make her ugly and all these things, but yet it's still. I mean, he could have gotten her pregnant. She could have had a baby. I mean, and I'm thinking about it's the women who determine whether you're Jewish or not.
Yes.
So, but if you take someone from war that's from whatever, and she has a baby, and yet in some way they're still Jewish because you married her.
No, not Jewish. Not Jewish. No. If she converts, they're Jewish.
She has to convert.
If she converts, they're Jewish. Otherwise, not. No. Anyway, leleches shezeh nasa yedei kavonas elol shenimshach yedei kriyas haTorah b'sheni v'chamishi All this happens through the idea of reading the Torah on Monday and Thursday, right? When you read the Torah Sheni v'Chamishi, and that's how you get the idea of Chodesh Elul. That's how you get the idea. That's how you get the idea of the pathways that Moshe Rabbeinu forged to those to make its way, the pathways to make its way up to through the heavens, through everywhere to get to the Kisei HaKavod. And how do you do that? You illuminate it through the Torah. The Torah gives it the light so it can travel through those pathways, and it knows the right pathways. It knows it connects to the light. It connects to the light. And how do you do it? Through the Simcha, like we learned from lesson 24. So we'll stop over here with this now, and then we're going to learn something in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Okay, we'll pick it up with tomorrow with Vav. Yeah?
A quick review. So we started by saying, okay, you got to go ahead and have Tikkun HaBris. That is.
No, we started off by saying today that you have to get your tefillah.
I'm starting with because it connects to the beginning of Gimel.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make that like the chart. So you have to go ahead and have Tikkun HaBris, because that is a connection to the month of Elul. Which is a connection to Tefillah. The way that we know that is through a pasuk of Rashi Tevot from Eliezer, who himself is speaking and praying to go ahead and find a woman, Rivka, and
like Tava Yisha Laleches, right?
While he's going right.
Like Tava Yisha Laleches.
So that has the Rashi Tevot
of Elul,
so now you see Elul, and it is a tefillah, and it happens to be a tefillah around a woman.
Yes.
So by having proper shmiras habris and
gives me the recognition.
There's now a connection also to that of shalom bayis and the woman who will want to be with you and desire you based on
and do your ratzon. Right, to follow your ratzon.
Based on the fact that ultimately you're
because you're working on kedusha.
Because you're working on kedusha, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. When you work on kedusha, the women sense that, and the woman will follow your way. Exactly.
And working on kedusha is, as an example, where tzaddikim go ahead and can be in tefillah, which we just said is connected to this area.
They
could be in relations, and it could be the same thing. It's just as holy.
That was yesterday's lesson.
Yeah.
Putting it together, excellent.
All connected. Tzaddikim can do this type of thing, believe it or not. Okay, and all of this is connected. Remember, again, kedushas habris
is the yes
Elul, okay, and shalom bayis.
Excellent.
And then that connects to, because it connects to tefillah. Tefillah itself is so powerful and needs a proper path.
It needs the pathway to go to right. That's the simcha. It gives it the thrust to be able to get on that road, and then it needs the light, and the light is the Torah.
And the light is the Torah, and that comes to us specifically
through Kriyas HaTorah.
Which
on Monday, specifically on Monday and Thursday, right? Very good. Okay, very good.
Can I go back to a question from yesterday's halacha?
Yeah. On tzitzis? Yeah.
So there's a mother of a chayal called me, asked me, her son has tzitzis and some of them ripped off. Can I fix them? I said, okay, I'll fix them. But I was thinking this. We learned yesterday about this square.
That's today. We're learning today. This. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this. They have this. It's like a pocket. Which I don't know what it's for. I mean, you could probably put it in here when you wash them.
Yeah, that's where they put that. That's where they put it.
Could I suggest that the chayal puts the tzitzis inside while he's wearing them?
He can.
And then they won't rip so easily.
Well, yeah, because if they're hanging out, they go through the thorn, the bushes already. They can get torn.
Yeah. Or you can tuck it in.
Yeah, well, okay.
Well, it depends if they're wearing it outside, if they're wearing it under their vest or whatever. I don't know where they're wearing it. They have it under their shirt. I don't know where they're wearing it.
Okay.
But they can. It's fine.
Okay.
No, we're going to learn that. Sean, the point is, look. The point is that this is one piece.
Yeah.
You see, this is whether there's a pocket here or not. This is one piece of fabric right here, and there's nothing sewn in between it. You're going to see that right now. That's what we're going to learn right now, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. But if the tzitzis rip, she has to make new tzitzis.
Yeah, I did already.
Right, well, you can't, that's the beged?
No. I have it at home.
Oh, okay. We'll just give him a new
Yeah,
new
give him a new
beged.
beged. Yeah. Just-
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's learn now. Today we're up to, I think, Yud Zayin, right?
17.
Yeah. 17. So we're in Hilchas Tzitzis, which is Siman Tes, and today we're up to Yud Zayin, which is 17. Okay. Yesh Oimrim. Shebechol Shetach Shel HaKanav Sheroyu Lahatil Shom Es HaTzitzah. That any corner that's worthy to be able to hang a tzitzah on, which we said yesterday, that's at least 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Remember? 3 thumb breadths by 3 thumb breadths by 3 thumb breadths, right? All around. Has to be 3 by 3 by 3. That's a worthy piece of fabric in order to hang the tzitzah on. Okay? Dahainu. Mimeloi kesher gudol mishifas hatalis ad shleisha gudolin. Right? So from the end of the corner, right, to the 3, to the 3, to the 3, to the 3, right? From all 4 corners. The first thumb breadth to the third one. On all 4, lo yeh shum tefer afilu mashu. You shouldn't have anything sewn. No sewing on that piece. Notice that piece should be flat. A plain piece. Flat. You shouldn't have anything on there. Especially not a string, a thread that would have been worthy to make the tzitzah from. Right? In other words, you understand? He's going to give us an example. If the talus is made out of flax, right? Linen, I think pishtin could be linen, right? Flax, linen, okay? Lo yispar sham chute pishtin rak bechute meshi v'chedoma. So there, don't take, in other words, because we said that the tzitzah has to be made from the same min of the beged itself. Right? In other words, if you have a beged, we said, that's pishtan, so then the tzitzis should be made from pishtan as well. If you have a beged of meshi, we said, if it's a silk beged, you shouldn't do that, but if you have a silk beged, so then we said that you should make the strings from the silk as well. Remember we said that? Right? It should be from the same min, V'kedayma. V'ima talis shel meshi, lo yisperenda b'chut meshi. If it's a silk talis, then don't sew. Some people, they like to do like embroidery. They like to make some kind. They may put some like embroidery on it. You ever see that? Right? So that's what we're talking about.
You shouldn't do that. Right?
It's better not to do that. But we're saying if a person wants to do it, what should they do? So if they want to do it, you can't use the same material, the same strings of what the beged's made from. So if you have let's say a linen, a pishtin, a beged of pishtin, you can take the strings of silk and sew silk on it, because that's not the same thing. It wouldn't be worthy to make it into tzitzis. You follow the point? Okay. But let's say the talis is made out of wool. Right? Regular talus, like it's made out of wool, right? Then if it's made out of wool and you need to you need to sew something, right? Then you should not use tzemer, don't use wool, because again, that would be worthy to make tzitzis from. So use then silk strings and a thread and do it.
I lost that.
You lost what?
I don't understand what you just said.
If you have a wool talus,
yeah,
and you want to make some embroidery,
okay, then you.
So you can do it. You can use silk. You could use silk string to do the embroidery.
This is only on the corners.
Only on the corners. This is only the corners we're talking
You
about.
have to use a different
Thread.
thread than the material is made of.
Right, because the principle is that the tzitzah has to be made from the same material as the beged.
Oh, okay.
Right. The beged, the garment, the piece of material, right? The tzitzis themselves, the beged, right? So if we said if it's made out of pishtin, so then you can't linen, right? We'll call it linen, okay? If it's made of linen, don't use linen to embroider onto the corner, right? Really, don't use anything to embroider on the corner, but if you have to. Again, this is like the guy, like we said the other time, the guy has to have his silk talus. right? Remember the other guy, the guy he needs his silk talis, right? So what should he do? So we said he should put on a regular wool talis and do the atifa, and then make the bracha, take that up, put on his silk talis. Now here we're talking about another guy. He needs to have his flower embroidered on the end of his tzitzis, or whatever. So this is, don't do it with the same material, change the material. If your material is pishtin, then you can use, you can't use wool, so then you can use meshi, you can use the silk, because you'll make shatnez, right? If it's linen, you can't use wool, because that'll make shatnez. So you could use silk, right? And if it's a beged of silk, you can use then, if the beged itself is silk, then you can use, to embroider, you can use any material you want other than silk, right? Okay, got it? Okay, v'yesh.
But then the tzitzit have to be silk.
If it's a silk beged, the tzitzis have to be silk.
I wouldn't even know where to buy it.
I understand. So he said it's not common, but and he said the problem is when you make the string, when you're making the string, you have to make it the l'shem mitzvah of that I'm making it for tzitzis. So he says, where are you going to go find silk string? Where are you going to go find silk that they made in Japan? Or where do they make silk, Yossi? In Japan? China and Japan. Well, I bet the better stuff is probably made in Japan, right? Right. Whatever. These guys, they don't know about tzitzis. They're making silk.
So if we're cotton, I don't think you can. What are most tzitzis? Are they mostly wool?
Tzitzis are mostly wool,
Mostly
yeah.
wool.
Mostly
That's what you
wool.
commonly buy.
That's what it says, stam tzemer. It's stam, yeah, wool.
So if you had a cotton talis, then you could still have a problem because it's not the same. It's not cotton tzitzis.
No. So we said, okay, so one second. This is the view of the Kitzur. We said that the Mishnah Berurah says that you could have a cotton beged and you can have wool tzitzis. The Mishnah Berurah Pascha, we're learning based on the Kitzur now, okay? Okay, and there's nothing, you could follow this along. This is perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine. In other words, he'll tell you to have a wool beged with wool tzitzis, and that's, according to everyone, you're doing great. Okay, you understand? So if we follow this, we're great. There's no problem. No problem at all. No one disagrees with this. Right? Okay, here we go. Now, v'yesh lahachmir bazeh gam be'imra she'oisin saviv nekev l'chaskei. Okay, so now wait a second. Now we said that we learned in the Halachos before that when you make the hole, you're supposed to put a binding. You're supposed to put a binding around it. You're supposed to reinforce the hole. So now, what?
Like a buttonhole.
Yeah, right. What do you call it? A binding? What do you call it, Shalom? A reinforcement. A reinforcement. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to come up with the right words for it. I'm not a tailor, right? The imra sha'osin saviv hanekev l'chaskei, right? And that with that binding that you do around it, it should only be with white threads, right? It should be with white threads. Because we don't make tzitzis from any other thing. He says, "Aval b'chut seva ein lachosh." You shouldn't do. One more time. V'imatalas shel tzemer lo yisperenu b'chutei tzemer ela b'shel meshi v'chadayim. V'yesh lachmer b'zeh gam be'imra with the reinforcement. Shleisen seviv hanekev l'chaskei to reinforce it. V'chol zois einay rak b'chut lavan. All of this that we're talking about is only with white. Right? B'chol zos. Einei b'chut shalavan. Ava b'chut tzeva ein lochush. I'm not worried about making, okay, here we go. On that corner, if you're going to use any other color, you're going to use a blue, you're going to use a pink and a red and orange, whatever it is. You don't make tzitzis from that anyway. You won't make your tzitzis from that string. You never saw anyone had orange tzitzis, right? No, there's strings. Maybe someone has an orange beged, that could be. Right? But you never see strings of this. So if you make it from color, it's not going to be a problem because that's not something you would make tzitzis from. Right? Either way, the best thing is from this, if you can, keep the corner of your tzitzis with nothing on it. That's the best thing, right? Don't make any embroidery. Just keep it simple. Simple is the best. Right? Keep it simple. Again, the 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. That's the kanaf, that's the kanaf, that's the corner that's worthy. In the center, you could put the hole, right? You could put the hole, right? The 3 thumb breadths. 3 thumb breadths by 3 thumb breadths by 3, that's the kanaf, that's the corner, right? So that, and you put the hole, so that you should keep it simple and with nothing on there at all. If you have to do something, you have to make it something from a different min, right? From a different material, right? A different thread, and that's the end of the story. Okay, everyone have a wonderful day, and I hope we hear good Besora Tovo today. Okay, Kol Tov, everybody.